Welcome back. Well, as always, plenty of stocks to track. Qs overall are good. We've been telling you that, and the market could be hitting those magic all-time high levels today. That's the indication. Global Qs are supportive, Asian markets are up, and the implied open is suggesting we'll start 50 points higher, which will put us within striking distance of that level of 26,277. So that's the magic mark that we're looking out for. What about individual stocks? As always, there's plenty of news to track. So let's straight away get to it with our team. Guys, morning to all of you. So let's start with Sonal, who's watching out for a couple of real estate names. Sonal, tell us more.
Yes, Oberoi Realty, the luxury developer, has actually entered into a redevelopment agreement. This will be for a project in Nepean Sea Road. The total area is 4,706 square meters, out of which the sales component will be 1.18 lakh square feet. So the redevelopment business is heating up, the market is heating up, and Oberoi is a new entrant there. Brigade Enterprises, they have signed a lease deed for 4,859 acres of land for a period of 90 years with Electronics Technology Park. This property will have a developmental potential of 1.2 million square feet, will also have a grade A office and a hotel with around 200 keys. So some expansion plans on the anvil.
Okay, all right, Sonal, got it. So we'll keep those real estate names in focus. But let's go to Sudarshan. He's watching out for some names as well. So good morning.
Good morning, Surbhi. So I have Studs Accessories, which has reported Q2 earnings first result after the company got listed on exchanges on 7th of November. And it's looking a good set of earnings, especially on the margin front, the big improvement we have seen because of the fall in the raw material cost. So revenue was up almost 7%. EBITDA is improved by 13%. Margin has seen an expansion of more than 100 basis points. It has come at 19.2% versus 18.1%. Gross margin too has seen an improvement of almost 300 basis points. It has come at 58.4% versus 55%. On the capacity utilization, it remains healthy at 86%. Also, company is looking to expansion, and it's going to expand the capacity for two-wheeler helmets by 1.5 million units in the first phase, and that is likely to be done or operational by Q1 of FY27. So overall, it's looking good for Studs Accessories, and I'm going with green.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Sud. But it's time to get in Vinny then. She's here to give us all the stocks in the news. Hey, Vinny.
Hi, good morning. So let's start with Patel Engineering. Now, this one has received 2 letters of intents from SADX Engineering and Infrastructure Project. And this is mainly for some excavation associated work in and for the region of southeastern coalfields. So because of that, the value of the project is around 800 crores, as you could say, 798 crores to be precise. We're expecting green for Patel Engineering. Salasar Technology, that's another one we'll keep an eye out on. The company has received 2 contracts worth around 695 crores from RVNL. Both these orders mainly are related to some infrastructure for reduction of loss work that happens, and this is across the region of Himachal Pradesh State Electricity Board. It's by them, and the region of Himachal Pradesh around that is what it's covered in terms of contracts. So green is expected here. Asian Paints, we're expecting green here as well. The company's subsidiary in UAE has proposed setting up it's a second paint manufacturing facility in UAE. The investment for this is around 340 crore rupees, or in AED, it's 140 million AED. So keep an eye on that one. The capacity will be around 55,800 KL per annum. So important update in terms of capacity expansion for Asian Paints. Lastly, Leela Palaces, that's also in focus. They're making an investment in Sofitel, the Palm FZE. The Sofitel, the Palm FZE is a owned beachfront hospitality property in Dubai. They expect to recover equity investment within a time period of 3 years. So an important update there, and obviously green expected here as well.
All right, Vinny, thanks very much for that. Well, J&K Bank and Paytm are 2 other names we want to focus on. And Gaurav has got details on these. Gaurav, morning.
Well, yes, for J&K Bank, they have got approval for fundraising up to 1,250 crores, and 750 crores out of this amount will be via QIP. Now, if you look at the numbers, it is something that we should be watching out for, because if you look at CET1 ratio, it is already at 12%. If you look at the guidance, management said that in FY26 they will grow their advances almost by 12% versus what we have seen at around 9% in the last quarter. And at the same time, if you look at price to book, now it is still below 1 time. So that is something that is really interesting to see, because they have not launched this QIP yet, they have just got an approval. Other than that, for Paytm, sentimentally green, and the reason being that RBI has now granted a certificate of authorization for Paytm payment services. Now, if you go back in time, just in August, RBI had granted in principle approval for the same, and at the same time, they advised the company to conduct system audit and submit the report within 6 months, following to which this in principle authorization will lapse. But it seems that Paytm is actually complying with all the requirements which were given by RBI. Other than that, if you look at any material impact, earlier also management had reiterated that this the onboarding of merchants, online onboarding of merchants, that stopped in November 2022, and even back then company said that there will be no material impact because this was specifically to the online merchants. In fact, if you look at the numbers in second quarter FY26 itself, the merchant count is at 1.37 crores. So not material impact, but definitely it can be a positive because it can now onboard long tail and smaller merchants, and that is the reason why going green on Paytm today.
Okay, all right, Gaurav, and please take care of that throat. You know, a few days to the big wedding, and I'm sure the lucky girl will want you to sing a couple of numbers for her. So please, you know, take some rest out there. And thanks a lot for that quick analysis as well. But let's go across to Vivek. The long-awaited deal is finally seeing the light of day. Some movement on that front. Whirlpool, the promoter, is going to be coming in there and selling some stake. Vivek, tell us what all you've picked up.
Well, that's right. So last evening, there was a block deal that was launched by the parent in Whirlpool India. So what's actually transpired is that, Whirlpool Mauritius, which is the promoter entity and held a little over 50% stake in the company, is looking to pair another 7.5% of total equity, which amounts to more than 960 crore worth of shares that is expected to exchange hands. Now, what is the troubling part is the fact that the floor price is almost at a 14.2% discount to yesterday's close at 1,030 rupees a share. Not only that, there is also a 90-day lockup on further sale of shares, but there are a couple of caveats, that the term sheet mentions in case there is another corporate action that may happen. But despite that, going with a red, promoter entity continues to pair its stake, and this time around the stake will be sold, or at least the floor price for which the stake will be sold is significantly lower than yesterday's closing price.
Promoter entity, as of September, had 51% stake. So today, in all likelihood, they sell another 7.5%.
The buyers will be very interesting, post-market us, because we'll have to see how that goes, whose hand it goes into, because we know that the promoter wants to sell. And valuation-wise, I think it trades at 2x sales on a PE basis as well because of this overhang. So as this gradually gets absorbed, it'll be interesting to see. 90-day lock-in, though, after this. So keep that.
And also, there's been so many stories over the last couple of months, who the buyer is.
Yeah.
And, there was some serious buzz that CG perhaps is in the race, and some large conglomerates perhaps also. So it'll be interesting, and we'll have those names later today.
Yeah, and ear to the ground, I was, I heard a couple of other large conglomerates, which I would not want to name, and a lot of PE interest as well, but they're going by the block route, so we'll see the buyers.
When we quizzed a lot of these, large groups who are listed, obviously, they all sort of didn't put it out there clearly, their intent, but I think the reality will prevail today once we have the details of that block. But for the time being, let's quickly recap our list of stocks to watch. The ones that have positive news flow around them are Oberoi Realty, Brigade Enterprises, Paytm, Studs Accessories, Patel Engineering, Asian Paints, Leela Palaces, and Salasar Techno. Stocks with negative news flow would be Whirlpool because of the overhang of this block deal. J&K Bank could see a mixed reaction in trade. That's our stock list for the morning. Let's now find out what's happening in the world of commodities. We have Manisha joining in with the latest. Manisha, good morning.
Morning, and thank you for that, Surbi. I'll start with the metals as a space because this really seems to be doing quite well. What with the dollar 9.5, which is a 2-week low flat one, and the market's pricing in an 85% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut in the month of December. So you have gold and silver trading at a 2-week highs. The copper price is trading at around 2-week highs as well. This is going to be a fourth monthly gain for gold and silver both, where we are looking at gold up by nearly 6%. November, and silver is up by 13%. Copper seems to have done quite well as well. We are up by 8% for the month of November for copper as well. What is not doing well is the crude oil prices. There is OPEC Plus gathering this weekend as well. And then the investors are watching the ongoing Russia-Ukraine peace efforts. Crude is on track for a fourth monthly decline for the month of November, and 60 isn't been able to hold when it comes to the WTI crude prices.
Okay, all right, Manisha, thank you very much for that quick wrap-up. So crude prices on the radar. As always, we'll take a break on that note. On the other side, we'll be connecting with Dipan Mehta, talk about some individual stock ideas for the day. And also, as promised, the management of Sami Hotels will join in to talk about trends for the company and the industry in the second half, which is seasonally, of course, the stronger half for the hospitality sector.